All right, Wei, how about you?
Yeah, no, I just to piggyback off of a little bit what he said about how it's so different watching others, like the new age play compared to when you played them. Like I was a pro gamer in 2004, and that's when I was in college. So like 2004 to like 2009, and I remember having to go to my like partner's houses and being like, "Hey, this is why your son should quit his job and play video games with me," and having parents be like, "Get out." But like, and I'm trying to explain to them, I'm like, but it was so funny going and doing that. But then like to take the next step in like 2011 to 2013, we went around to like almost 100 universities in North America, and we're like, if you guys had an esports program, I almost can guarantee your out-of-state tuition will improve by 15 to 20%. And we were showing them numbers, and so many universities were like, nobody wants to play video games, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So that being said, moving on from my funny little story.
No, I love it. That's going to be super relevant in about 2 minutes.
yeah, no. So like American esports, one of the big things that the big vision at American esports that like really took me, because I used to own my own org, and what really made me make the transition is American esports wants to take the haze and kind of like the wild west of what esports is, but help build roads, because there's a whole new generation and there's all these new people getting into esports, and they're like trying to define what they are. And you don't have to just be a gamer. You can be a wonderful graphics artist. You can be somebody who knows how to coach. You can be a teacher. There's so many different roads into esports and our industry that people just aren't seeing because it's not clear. So what American esports is doing is helping build the bridges and the paths that we take in the educational system. We started working with like Johnstown and a couple other universities, and we're helping set up different like programs that, like if you want to be a leader or you want to be just somebody who is an analytics agent, we're going to sit down and help you find that path. And actually this week we launched the Sentinel program, which is going to be our affiliate / ambassador program, where we help people build their idea and how they would build into their career. And we've done all that from the perspective of educators. So we've really put together all these programs, and we're really putting together a lot of these programs to help put like that education into people's hands and really bring like I said, the idea that there needs to be bridges and there needs to be the correct pathing, instead of just people being like, I'm going to be in the esports industry, let me just tool around on the internet until I find something. And there's also a lot of relevant thoughts of how people have been taking advantage of, how different things, like nobody knows what contracts there should be. So we really are putting a lot of that stuff in the forefront and being like, look, this is what you need to look into. This is what you should be doing. This is the type of education that you can be successful here. And we're doing it all from the pioneers and the people who've already been there and done that. Because like you said, like you guys said, I don't know how about you, but I had to wear like 30,000 hats trying to run an org. And I mean, I remember I went back to college just to learn how to be a graphics artist because I was tired of hiring them. Yeah. So I was like, look, I need to know how to use the Adobe suite. Like I have to. Yeah. So I took an online night course to figure it out. Like
I can check mark that.
Yeah, right. Like yes, exactly. Like it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's where American esports is. That's really what captured me, and I really can't wait to lend the rest of what we're talking about.
That's excellent. So I'm loving the diversity and perspective. We've got people on the education side, competition side, software support side, and then even Wei, you're bringing actual professional gaming experience to the table too. This is going to be a great conversation. So I want to piggyback a little bit off of what Wei was talking about, in the sense that obviously esports is not a new thing, right? Not really. For people who in esports, it's not a new thing. It's been around a long time. But for the rest of the world, esports is this overnight sensation, right? It just popped up out of nowhere. It's huge, right? So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. But from where it is today, which is people are just now figuring out, oh my gosh, this is a thing. There's money in it. The World Fortnite Championship a little while ago, a 16-year-old kid walks away with more money than the winner of the Masters for golf. I mean, that's where we are. This is the real world that we live in. And, folks like you guys that have been on the ground floor of esports for a long time have had that opportunity to really see it evolve. But now we are looking to the future. What are the biggest needs and the trends that we're going to see in the next 2 to 3 years from esports and education? And specifically, I would like to hear a little bit on the education side, but also on the competition side. 2 to 3 years. So short term, but still future. What are the needs? What are the trends? What are we looking at here?
Damn.
Throwing you guys on the spot here.
I mean, I can start if you want.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're just
so
gonna build up.
One of the biggest things that I've noticed is that a lot of the esports that are taking hold. Okay, so for Fortnite, for example, even though I could argue all day long about whether or not it's an esport, but so I'm whatever. I love this game, but
that's
anyway.
Old school pro gamer talking right there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this. Okay, but for Fortnite example, if you want to have a good Fortnite tournament, you have to have 100 computers in one spot. And I mean, and that's not even including some of the other stuff that you're gonna need. So I'm saying, so a lot of these things, it's like, okay, so if you want to hold a well done competition for some of these computer games, especially the battle royale titles, you need to have a lot of power. And that's one of the things that we've been going to universities about, like, you have the capability to do this. And a lot of other places don't. So you could be the hub that brings the community together around you. So some of these outlying universities, like that aren't in like major cities, like I'm not talking, like, don't get me wrong, Duke could do amazing things here, and they do. But I mean, you could have, Maryland, but also up in Maryland, there's Frostburg. Frostburg University is up in the friggin' mountains. And I mean, but they have a great little community around them, and they have a ton of gamers there. Trust me, I know they all drive down to Baltimore once a month. And I'm saying, like, you guys could be the hub of that central thing. That's what we're doing, is we're going to those outlying universities and being like, you guys are the only place around here that has the power to put these things together. And while you're at it, talk about your university. Show people why going there is such a wonderful, like, beautiful thing and a community building experience. And so I think that we're going to start seeing that more and more, because the more esports and educational gaming and just gaming in general becomes just a household accepted thing that people are watching, you're going to see more and more of these universities pop up. And then that's what's cool about that, is then you're going to get rivalry. And rivalry breeds more and more people wanting to, like, just cheer for their things and be a part of their community. And I think that you're going to see, the reason I got into gaming to begin with is that you get to have all walks of life come together into a community. And it's something that I really enjoyed. Because I mean, I also I love football / soccer and, boxing growing up. But one of the things that I really loved about all that is the community building aspect. And then I saw gaming brought all of that together. So in the next 3 years, you're going to see it really take off hard. And I think that you're going to see that universities really embrace it, like, in a lot bigger of a way than we have in the past.
Yeah. I mean,